Richard Davies and his wife Lisa, a Northamptonshire couple, have had an apology from police last week after their home had been burgled 3 times in 6 days between May 24th and May 30th. Lisa was also targeted with abuse from a passerby as she cleared up the mess the wankers had made after throwing their personal belongings over the driveway and then pissing on them. 36-year-old Richard was told a month ago that he had stage 4 colon cancer, which had spread, meaning, if you know anything about cancer, makes it almost impossible to treat now and will unfortunately almost inevitably lead to death. The burglaries have occurred since he was diagnosed, placing additional stress and torment on the couple. Of the burglary, Richard said, "It was horrifying. As soon as we walked onto the driveway, you could see it's like a bomb has gone off. We are devastated. Lisa is in pieces." Of all our personal belongings strewn all over the driveway, intimate letters and cards between me and my wife had been pulled out, screwed up and torn to shreds. Pieces of clothing everywhere. Everything just smashed to bits. They urinated all over everything. The whole place stunk. It was all of our belongings in there, and they have just gone in there and totally, maliciously trashed everything. Lisa was almost on the floor wailing because the problem is, physical items that would not have been that valuable this time a month ago before my diagnosis now hold incredible sentimental value. If I die, these are things she wants to keep. I've been given 3 to 6 months to live without drastic intervention. These are things she was going to rely on for comfort moving forward, have been destroyed, and for what reason? Why? I can live with the power tools and bicycles being nicked, but trashing all of our stuff, I don't understand it. To say we're at breaking point is an understatement. What can you do in the face of such mindless evil? The only thing that I'm absolutely thankful for is that somehow, buried beneath the carnage, the painting I'd done for Lisa has survived and is undamaged. Richard claims that he thinks he put a target on his own back after calling police on the cretinous fuckpigs who robbed him, who returned the following 2 nights. While Lisa was cleaning up the mess made, a passerby held a barrage of abuse and threats of violence towards her. So Richard called the police as he felt his wife's life was in danger, and it took police 34 minutes to arrive. Plenty of time to deal with the aftermath of an offence whilst not having to get involved with the offence itself whilst it's being perpetrated. Richard said, "The police have admitted their response time was totally unacceptable. If someone is threatening violence to my wife, I would want them to be there within 3 or 4 minutes. If someone is threatening to hurt your family, you ring 999. You expect the police are going to come and save you. But that has not been the case. We have felt like we are totally alone." Northamptonshire Police said that they sincerely apologise if the victims in this case feel they haven't been provided with the level of service they expected. They said, "We are currently reviewing our response to the initial calls and will report our findings to them, as well as implement any learning that comes out." Richard says he has had to hire security from a private firm to watch his house 24/7 as he tries to protect his property, especially while he goes for treatment and his wife is at home alone or that home is empty. However, on the 9th of June, it's said that the security guard was even beaten up by someone who Richard believes is connected to the burglaries. He called police again, and this time they are said to have taken 3.5 hours to arrive. He said, "We've had senior police officers in our home on Monday apologising for the obvious and blatant failures of their policing. 3 days later, the same situation has arisen, and they have reacted in the exact same way. What is the point in apologising if they have put in no infrastructure to change their response? I've had to pay thousands of pounds to have security at my house, and now one of those security guards has been beaten up by somebody who has just walked into my front garden. So what message is that sending to me and the public? The message: people can come into your property, vandalise your home, steal all of your belongings, attack your wife, and there's not a thing we're doing about it. That's the message Northamptonshire Police is sending." Now, you would expect that if a property is hit twice by burglaries in a very short space of time, that would indicate some kind of a pattern. The fact that there was a call made after 3 burglaries that the wife was being abused, you might assume that would be a priority call. But no, Police are either trawling social media looking for easy targets they can send police en masse to make an arrest over some hurty words, or spending their time preying on vulnerable women attending incidents, in many cases as a reactionary force, long after the incident has taken place, rather than a proactive force. I know police say they have limited manpower these days, but I simply don't believe it, especially when so many police can turn up to an incident that requires no more than a single unit, as we see all too often 10 plus police turning up to a single cameraman, or 5 or 6 attend to check someone's thinking over a comment they've made online. The fact this guy has potentially a very limited amount of time left, although he is fundraising for treatment that isn't available on the NHS that could help him, he shouldn't have to be spending his time worrying about being robbed or his wife being assaulted. It is disgusting and goes to show, in my opinion, the level of contempt the police have for most of the general public. My thoughts go out to you, Richard, and to your wife, Lisa, and I hope you manage to raise the funds that you need, and I hope you manage to live your lives in peace now that you have made public the failures of Northamptonshire police, and insofar as they actually do something about your situation.